Hi, it's Tanya with Red Cardinal Crafts. How you doing? Today I'm going to be finishing my Calgary journal in the sense that I'm going to have all the extra stuff that I've collected um, from when we lived there. I'm just going to get it all in the journal, and then the journal will be done. And whenever I want to work on it, it'll just be about writing down the stories and everything that go along with all this stuff. So that was a note from our neighbors the night we moved into our house. They had a party, and we lived in Auburn Bay. So that was the little card that we used to get into the lake area and stuff. Really nice neighborhood. It was in Seaton, like 20 minutes south of Calgary. It's a nice little area. And we lived in Calgary during COVID, so there's a bunch of COVID stuff in here because it was a crazy time in all of our lives. So I wanted to keep all that stuff. That, I believe, was the card for the Delta Hotel when Kerrigan and I had to drive up and get Bryn from school. And these are sympathy cards from Dad's funeral. We had a lot of cards, but they were all at Dad's house, and I just brought a few back with me. Hard to believe it's 4 years now. This is the Calgary Library, and I just like this flyer because it had the illustrations of all the libraries in the Calgary area. And this is a Redbubble sticker. Redbubble is the company I use to print my stuff onto t-shirts and mugs and everything. So you can check me out at Redbubble. I think it's just Tanya Richards over there because I couldn't fit Red Cardinal Crafts. It was so stupid. They wouldn't let a longer name be on there. These are cards for the Y. I loved the Y. I used to go swimming there in the mornings. I'd go early because they played Disney songs. And I would do laps in the pool. I would do breaststroke. I taught myself how to do the breaststroke. I'm not scared of water. I mean, I'm scared there's sharks in the pool, but other than that, um, yeah, I'm just not a good swimmer. We went to the Beyond Van Gogh thing. I think this was like spring of 22. I think we went right before we moved here to Vancouver. And I end up putting all these postcards in, and I use just random washi tape, and then I discover later on, oh right, I have Van Gogh washi tape. These are just little notes that I had in the hotel when we first moved there. It was like, who do I have to contact at the school to get Kerrigan registered? This is a sample of the Kleenex box from Costco that Dad had on his bed. And the little thank you card was from the nurses because Dad wanted us to give them a gift. So we gave them money and they were able to buy that love seat that they were sitting in. We got them an O2 monitor, and I think they were able to get a microwave for the nurses' station. Dad wanted to make sure the nurses had stuff because they work so hard. So we gave them the money and they used it to buy the love seat. This is a nice map of Jasper when we went to visit there. We went to Lake Louise, Jasper, and then Edmonton. And this little tag was a shirt that I bought when we were in Lake Louise, and I actually had it on yesterday. It's like kind of a navy sweatshirt thing. This was all the information for Kerrigan's high school graduation, and it was just how the day was going to go. The poor thing, they just, because it was COVID, they just had a little thing set up in the parking lot. And she walked across this little stage. Just a very different high school experience than what Bryn had down in Seattle. But it was nice that we were able to do something. And then we drove to Lake Louise and we did her pictures in her little grad dress that she never got to wear to anything. But we did the best we could considering what was going on in the world. This is from Scott and I went to go see Rick Mercer. He's a Canadian comedian. This was a little gift certificate we had for the restaurant. I don't think we ever did get to use that. But this was the hotel that Scott worked at in Calgary. The Sheraton Suites Eau Claire, I believe it was called. I tape everything in with Scotch tape and then I put washi over top of it. And this is my favorite washi tape, this orange and red. I love it. And this is like the last few pieces of it. But it looks really good because this whole, like the whole book is kind of orange and red. I don't know, I just love those colors together. I also like teal, apple green, and red together. I love that. Like at Christmas, those three colors. Here's my Van Gogh washi tape. Some of it I just put over the existing washi tape. I just couldn't be bothered to peel it off. But there you go. Totally forgot I had that. This Indigo gift card. Indigo around here is like Chapters. Uh, they call them Indigo now. Anyway, Chapters is like Barnes and Noble in the States, is our bookstore. And this is from a family that I worked with. So my job in Calgary, I worked with families and I'd go into their homes and um, sort of guide them on how to work with their children with autism. And this is a little boy that I worked with. I worked with three little boys um, with three different families. And they gave me a gift card at Christmas to the bookstore. He was such a sweet little kid. And he was nonverbal. And he was just over 2 years old. And every day I left, I would say bye bye, and I'd say his name and I'd wave, and he would just toddle away, he wouldn't react. And on the last day that I was with him before we moved to Vancouver, I said bye bye, and it was like the last time I was gonna do that. And I said bye bye, and I waved, and he waved. And his mom and his grandmother were there, and the three of us just burst into tears. It was like the sweetest thing. Because every day I would wave and say bye bye, and the mom said, one of these days he'll do it. And he did it on my very last day. And it was amazing. Angel food cake. The kids wanted a confetti cake to make one Christmas, and I bought that, and they were like, what in the heck kind of cake is it? They really didn't like it. I love angel food cake. They thought it was very weird. Here, I don't realize that I'm pretty much off camera, but I'm gluing a mask into my book because everyone wore those for years. I still wear one at work because right now everyone's coughing and hacking. It's the time of year where everyone's getting sick. So to make that stick, I just put my laptop on top of it and weight it down, and then I head off to work. So then when I get home, it's it's nice and secure in there, and it makes a fun little pocket. And I put pictures of our friends in there. It was a lady that Scott worked with, and they used to commute to work together, and which was great because then I was able to have the car. But they were really fun during COVID. They lived on this cul-de-sac, and them and their neighbors, they were all social distancing, of course, but they had different themes. Like, I don't know if it was every day. I think well, it might have been every day. And that was a formal day. They were all dressed up. The kids and stuff would play on their bikes or whatever. But yeah, they all got together and sat at the end of their driveways in costumes and stuff. This little bag from the dentist, and I put the BC and Alberta guide dog information in there. I end up moving that, but I'll show you that later. This is my dentist's business card. Dr. Damji, he was really nice. Still not my favorite dentist. My favorite dentist was in Florida, Dr. Seppi. He was very nice because I'm terrified of the dentist. Oh, and this is the Bermuda, or Bermuda, look at me. This is the BC Alberta Guide Dog thing, and I realized that there's a card in here. So I glue that down to make a pocket. And then I put the information in there. And the reason we have BC Alberta Guide Dog stuff is because Scott donates to them and sponsored a dog because he's always wanted one, but his allergies are bad and we can't have a dog. And he's always wanted a black lab. He likes the English ones with because they have great big paws, great big faces. But sadly, we can't have a dog. So he sponsors one, and that was Kona. And Kona, the papers that were there, those were letters that the dog would write to Scott. I was very excited. That little card I clipped on there, that was from our neighborhood because we had a big snowstorm the first year we were there. And the neighbors gave us a little card to thank us because Scott used the snowplow to plow the entire street and everyone's driveway. This is the invoice from Scott's parents' dining room set. They gave that to us, which was lovely. I remember sitting at that dining room table when I was like 16 when we were dating, and now it's in our house. So that was the invoice from the movers because his mom had it shipped up to us. And then these were tags off of, we went to an antique store and got like an old corkscrew and an old jug and stuff to sit on the dry sink. And that little beige post-it note was the list of alcohol that we were going to put in the dry sink just to get it all set up. This was just a COVID-y thing that you had to fill out and have your code and stuff to show that you had passed the COVID test or something to in order to fly because we flew down to Halifax to visit Scott's dad for his birthday. This is another mask. I think I do end up gluing this in the book. It's from Air Canada. So I put the little note in there and then I put the little thing from the headphones. And this is a thank you card from that family again with the little boy. And that was when I was leaving. And they gave me another gift card for Indigo and just a nice card to say thank you. 18. Kerrigan got that in the mail because she turned 18 and was now allowed to vote. And this is her first purchase from the UBC bookstore when she got accepted to UBC. So cards, I never know what to do with cards, so I think I just sit them in the book here. Yeah. This little liver thing, liver cirrhosis, I ended up eating a Costco pizza one day and thought I was having a heart attack. And they ended up doing scans and stuff, and they ended up finding all these spots on my liver. And they think it's from birth control pills over the years. Good times, but it's actually a good thing because now I go and get scans once a year. I have to go get MRIs, and they just keep an eye on it because it could go bad, and that wouldn't be good. So I'm just flipping through and showing you all the stuff I have in the book and how it looks. So I'll be coming back from time to time and doing journaling in this. Like I'll do journal with me things, maybe. I don't know. I've told you all the stories, I think. But I'll be adding photos and stuff, so yeah, so I'll probably do a journal with me. That Calgary roster, that's when we went to the game with Dad and Johnny Gaudreau. He just passed away a few weeks ago, him and his brother. They were killed by a drunk driver. And he was actually in the game that we saw with Dad that day. More COVID stuff, health stuff. The cake store that had peanut-free stuff. I forgot to glue that thing in, but I will at some point. That was Moraine Lake. Kerrigan's graduation stuff. And this was our anniversary, our 25th anniversary. Miniature World. I think we went to Miniature World when we were young, when we first came to Vancouver in '86. That was my little tea bag, Bella Coola tea from the Fairmont. Oh, we went whale watching, and those were the life bands that I wore on my wrist so I wouldn't get seasick. It's my little map. Such a cute map. See, I'm going to use my little print. Oh, that's when I got COVID. I was having a cup of soup. That was from the dining room set. Oh, I did glue that in. There we go. Now it's dry. And those are our neighbors. This is when we went to Banff, and that was the bag from my croissant that morning. That was for Evan and Michaela's wedding reception. Here's Kona. And there's just little galas that we went to at the hotel. We went to do pottery, so I've got to put those photos in. There's all the Van Gogh things. And this is when I flew up to get Bryn and bring her home from school. And that's the end. But then this morning I went into the closet because I was like, wait now, I think I have another bin of stuff. So this was a book that I was originally going to use for the journal, but obviously I don't need that anymore, so I'm just going to throw that out. And I forgot I had all these things, these little index cards. So I just end up sorting through this bin, and I really don't keep a lot of the stuff. And it's so nice to be done and have this bin empty. So it's just this little pile of stuff that I end up adding to the journal. But that is it. So I hope you like this flip through. I hope everyone is safe, happy, and healthy. And I'll be back with some more videos soon. All right, take care, guys. See ya.